Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Things That Go Bump in the Night. This is JC Bratton coming to you from San Jose, California. This episode, entitled Star Wars, is part 3 in a multi-part series where I will share some Easter eggs regarding characters, places, and events that take place in my series of short stories called Things That Go Bump in the Night, Volume 1, Urban Legends.
Star Wars. It's the most popular movie in history. The one people enjoy over and over. And now it can be yours. Star Wars. Now it can be playing on an RCA video disc player on your TV tonight. Playing with RCA video discs' remarkable picture and stereo sound. Playing along with hundreds of other great movies and more. And best of all, if you buy a player now starting at just $2.99, RCA will give you Star Wars free. That's right, free. But hurry, offer ends soon.
Around 1982, I became a huge Star Wars nerd. My dad bought an RCA analog video disc playback system, also known as CED. It came with a copy of Star Wars A New Hope, and we watched it religiously. I was absolutely hooked. Unfortunately, we didn't catch The Empire Strikes Back in theaters, but Dad committed to us to watching Return of the Jedi when it came out in theaters. Side note, Mom and Dad decided that it was more important to catch Superman 3 first. So it wasn't actually until the fall of 1983 that we were able to watch Return of the Jedi. We were a few minutes late to the showing, and I didn't catch the opening crawl. I was so annoyed. Anyhow, after the movie ended, I remember feeling a bit sad. I felt like I lost a close friend. It appeared at the time that George Lucas was not going to make any more Star Wars movies, so as time went on, the classic trilogy was going to be it. I remained a fan of Star Wars, but it wasn't the forefront of my obsessions, that is, until March of 1993. It was my junior year of high school, and I was sick over spring break. My sister and I decided to dust off our VHS tapes of the original Star Wars trilogy, and it just sparked major nostalgia and a renewed obsession. I learned of the Timothy Zahn novels and did everything I could to find other Star Wars nerds in Altus, Oklahoma, which is where I lived at the time. My sister went to the University of Oklahoma, and I found two really awesome stores in Norman, Planet Comics and Cards and Alliance Comics and Cards. I was in heaven, Star Wars Nerd Central. Needless to say, that's where I found myself pretty much every weekend in my senior year of high school and into my days at the university. These stores helped me to start my current vintage collection of action figures. Of course, we know that Mr. Lucas ended up bringing Star Wars back to the big screen, and now with Disney, we have tons of Star Wars in our lives, which is captivating the lives of multiple generations. When I wrote my short stories, I made sure to include some subtle hints about my Star Wars obsession into my stories. Here are 5 Easter eggs related to a galaxy far, far away. Easter egg number 1. The character of Mark. Mark is Jamie's boyfriend in my series of short stories. I always liked the name Mark, but the origin of the character comes from none other than Mr. Mark Richard Hamill, the actor who plays Jedi Master Luke Skywalker.
Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Huh? Oh, the uniform.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
I changed things up a bit. In real life, Mark is pretty short for a stormtrooper at around 5 feet 5, even though websites may list him as 5 feet 9. Changing things up, I made the character of Mark to be 6 feet tall, which is the best height for a man in my opinion. The character, however, does have sky blue eyes, which I would say is probably one of Mr. Hamill's trademark features. On a side note, I met Mark in person at Comic-Con in 2004, probably one of the coolest things that ever happened to me. You can read all about it on my website at bluemilk.co. Easter egg number 2, room 1138. You'll notice that Jamie and Shelley's dorm room number is 1138. 1138 is a very important number in Star Wars fandom.
Where are you taking this thing?
Prisoner transfer from cell block 1138.
I wasn't notified. I'll have to clear it.
Luke says that Chewbacca is a prisoner transfer from cell block 1138 in the original Star Wars when the team tries to rescue Princess Leia on the Death Star. 1138 also comes from George Lucas's first movie, THX 1138, a dystopian sci-fi thriller from 1971. Lastly, you can find a reference in American Graffiti, George Lucas's period piece from when he grew up in Modesto, California. John Milner's 1932 Ford Deuce Coupe had the license plate THX-138, which paid homage to Mr. Lucas's first film. Easter egg number 3, Apartment 2187. In my romantic thriller Parasomnia, Abigail Parker and Alex Anderson both occupied an apartment with the number 2187.
We gotta find out which cell this princess of yours is in. Here it is, 2187. You go and get her. I'll hold him here.
In the original Star Wars, Han Solo tells Luke that this princess of yours was located in cell 2187. It's a subtle string of numbers, but hardcore Star Wars nerds would appreciate it. Easter egg number 4, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
When I created Ross Montgomery, who is the father of missing teen Mary Montgomery in Who's at the Door, I envisioned him as a wise man that was similar to Obi-Wan Ben Kenobi, a father figure of sorts to Luke Skywalker. In the short story, I specifically mentioned that Ross has an Obi-Wan Kenobi look to him. Easter egg number 5, Blue Milk Publishing. Lastly, the publishing company I created, Blue Milk Publishing, is inspired by the blue concoction that Luke Skywalker's Aunt Beru serves at the dinner table at their homestead on Tatooine. I used to run a website called Aunt Beru's Place, a site where I brought Beru to life and gave her more of a backstory. The site was featured on the Sci-Fi Channel as the Site of the Week in June of 1999. So there you have it. Those are my Star Wars related Easter eggs in my short stories. I'll share another Easter egg in a few weeks. Be sure to go to bluemilk.co to order your copy of Things That Go Bump in the Night Volume 1 Urban Legends today. Thank you.